Dugtrio, more like Hug Theo. Wugtrio, more like Hug Theo again, I guess. He must be lonely. Alolan Dugtrio, more like Hanson. Hey everybody, Ace Channel Liam here, hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Form Fight. Form Fight is a series where we take a look at a Pokemon with more than one form, a branched evolution, or a counterpart Pokemon, or convergent evolution like we're looking at today. We have a look at the differences between the Pokemon in question and we try and work out which one is the best. And so we can see these Pokemon in action on the battlefield. We also have a little Metronome battle just for a little bit of fun. But with all that out the way, let's have a look at today's challengers. Today on Form Fight, we're going to be looking at two convergent species, Dugtrio and Wugtrio. And I'll also include a little info on Alolan Dugtrio. I did already do Dugtrio versus Alolan Dugtrio, but I'll include it here for you lot because I'm dead nice. Now to get yourself a Dugtrio, simply train a Diglett to level 26 and it will evolve into Dugtrio. The same goes for Alolan Diglett into Alolan Dugtrio. And to nobody's surprise, to get Wugtrio, simply train a Wiglet to level 26 and it will evolve into Wugtrio. But what makes these convergent Pokemon so different? Let's take a look. According to the Pokedex, Dugtrio is 0.7 meters tall and weighs 33.3 kilograms. The Pokedex entry for Dugtrio says its three heads bob separately up and down to loosen the soil nearby, making it easier for it to burrow. In battle, it digs through the ground and strikes the unsuspecting foe from an unexpected direction. As for Alolan Dugtrio, it's also 0.7 meters tall and weighs 66.6 kilograms. Its Pokedex entry says their beautiful metallic whiskers create sort of a protective helmet on their heads, and they also function as highly precise sensors. The three of them get along very well. Through their formidable teamwork, they defeat powerful opponents. As for Wugtrio, it's 1.2 meters tall and weighs 5.4 kilograms. Wugtrio's Pokedex information says it has a vicious temperament, contrary to what its appearance may suggest. It wraps its long bodies around prey, then drags the prey into its den. A variety of fish Pokemon, Wugtrio was once considered to be a regional form of Dugtrio. And how wrong we all were, eh? Appearance-wise, Dugtrio is literally just a set of three domed brown cylinders sticking out from a pile of rubble, with black dots for eyes and red rounded noses. Alolan Dugtrio is just a more tanned Dugtrio with a blonde wig on each head, and Wugtrio is effectively the same thing as a regular Dugtrio, only longer and sticking out from three sides of a rock, and having pink skin instead of brown and white noses instead of red. Also, side note, it really bothers me that Wugtrio isn't the same color as Wiglet, because that to me would have looked so much better, but it's not my game, is it? In their shiny forms, Dugtrio's fur turns a little paler and its noses turn blue. Alolan Dugtrio's fur takes on a more orangey saturation and its noses also turn blue. And as for Wugtrio, its bodies turn blue and their noses turn a golden yellow. Now let's have a look at their typing, weaknesses, and resistances. The original Dugtrio is a pure ground type Pokemon, making it weak to water, grass, and ice type attacks. It resists poison and rock type moves and is completely immune to electric type attacks. As for Alolan Dugtrio, it's a dual-type ground and steel Pokemon, which makes it weak to fighting, ground, fire, and water. It resists normal, flying, rock, bug, steel, psychic, dragon, and fairy type moves, with the rock resistance being a quad resistance, and it's also completely immune to both poison and electric type attacks. And as for Wugtrio, it's a pure water type Pokemon, which makes it weak to just grass and electric type moves. It resists steel, fire, water, and ice type attacks, and has no immunities. Now let's take a look at the stats and abilities of these convergent species, or whatever you want to call them. Now, Dugtrio is a very fast but very fragile Pokemon, boasting 120 base speed and 100 base physical attack. But with garbage HP and below average defenses, this Pokemon can certainly land a quick hit, but really needs to hope its opponent doesn't hit back. Its primary ability is Sand Veil, which lowers the accuracy of moves used on Dugtrio by 20% during a sandstorm. Now, obviously making it more difficult for opponents to land hits on Dugtrio is a way of keeping it on the field longer, but do bear in mind that someone will need to set up that sandstorm for this ability to be useful, and that'll either have to be Dugtrio itself wasting a turn, or another Pokemon's move or ability. Dugtrio's secondary ability is Arena Trap, which prevents opposing grounded Pokemon from switching out, unless they're a ghost type, or they use a move like U-Turn or Parting Shot. or are holding a shed shell. Regardless of the various ways around Arena Trap, it's still a great ability for putting pressure on an opponent, since they mostly can't switch out to a Pokemon more suited to dealing with Dugtrio, or its ally if you're playing doubles. Dugtrio's hidden ability is Sand Force, which increases the power of Dugtrio's rock, ground, and steel type moves by 30% during Sandstorm. Much like Sand Veil, the benefits of this ability are very self-explanatory, and this does very much bank on either Dugtrio or an ally bringing the sand. As for Alolan Dugtrio, it has almost the same base stats as its Kanto counterpart, aside from being 10 base speed slower and having 10 base extra physical defense. It also shares the same primary and hidden abilities as the Kanto Dugtrio, but its secondary ability is Tangling Hair. If your opponent hits a Tangling Hair Alolan Dugtrio with a move that makes contact, that Pokemon's speed will be reduced by 1 stage, which is a great option for speed control, although given it's such a fast Pokemon, this is more beneficial to Dugtrio's allies than to Dugtrio itself. And as for Wugtrio, it has the exact same base stats as Kanto Dugtrio, because of course it does. Couldn't you have at least switched it up and made it a special attacker Pokemon? Wugtrio's primary ability is Gooey, which is essentially the same as Alolan Dugtrio's Tangling Hair. Simple speed control powered by opposing contact moves. Its secondary ability is Rattled, which increases Wugtrio's speed each time it's hit by a bug, dark, or ghost type damaging move. Similarly to Gooey, this is great for speed control, only this time it's a direct benefit to Wugtrio itself instead of just hindering a single opponent. The balancing act between this ability and Gooey is deciding whether you think you're going to get hit by more moves, like overall, of these 3 types, or if you think you're going to be hit by more contact moves of all types. Wugtrio's hidden ability is, would you believe it, it's Sand Veil, which we've already discussed as it's the primary ability of both the Dugtrio. However, this has an added bonus for the water-type Wugtrio. After all, Wugtrio, being a water type, would normally take damage during a sandstorm, but this ability gives it immunity to Sandstorm Chip, which with the added evasion could actually be very handy. Now it's time for me to decide which of these 3 Pokemon I prefer, and it's really hard to choose because I really don't care for any of them. I guess I'll go with Dugtrio because it's the one I'm more familiar with. Like, Alolan Dugtrio is great, and I do like that it's got the steel typing, but then at the same time, I just think regular Dugtrio is that little bit cooler. Wugtrio's fine, I just don't care for it. I'll go with Dugtrio, but I'm probably not picking any of these Pokemon on any given day, really. But of course, it's not just up to me to decide which is my favorite, it's up to you guys to decide which is your favorite. But before you do, it's time to see these Pokemon on the battlefield. It's time for the Metronome battle, or at least it would be, but first of all, we need to talk about G Fuel! And I honestly nearly dropped it then. That was terrifying. I pointed the shaker to you without even showing you the logo. It's all a mess, but G Fuel's fantastic. And the best part is you can use code ACE to get yourself 20% off wonderful flavors like Black Ice that I'm drinking today. That's the Rainbow Six Siege flavor. All I know is it is blackberry and pear and vanilla, and what a combo they make. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy formula. Ah, that is so bloody good. Go get yourself some G Fuel. Use code ACE when you do for 20% off. 30% off collector's boxes and starter kits at the moment. So if you want to try G Fuel, right now is the best time because all through March, you can get 30% off with code ACE. And also tweet me. Whenever you place an order using code ACE, just tweet me a picture of it and I'll retweet the hell out of that so we can say, hey G Fuel, we're really great over here using code ACE. Remember though, G Fuel is for over 18s only because it contains caffeine and children don't need to be anywhere near caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is, and because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. Now, just before we get into the battle, I'll remind everybody these Pokemon have max IVs in all stats, 0 EVs in all stats. They've got neutral natures. They're all holding leper berries just in case the battle goes long and they run out of PP. Haha, PP, very funny. Normally, I give them like either their primary abilities or their hidden abilities, but because their secondary abilities is where they differ the most in this particular one, I've gone with their secondary abilities. But basically, the only advantage or disadvantage any of these Pokemon gets comes from their typing and their base stats, and I guess their abilities to an extent. Everything else is all up to the Metronome. Let's go.
So here we go. It's Wugtrio versus Dugtrio. This is gonna be absolutely wonderful for people that like things in threes. Here we have Shiny Dugtrio starting off with a Crab Hammer, not very effective on the water type Wugtrio, Shiny Wugtrio, but did do a decent amount of damage. Now over to regular Wugtrio for a super effective water spout. Same type attack bonus as well. Takes down shiny Dugtrio. Regular Dugtrio only has 8 hit points left. What is happening? Over to shiny Wugtrio now. It only needs to do 8 hit points of damage to win the battle. Goes for Shell Sidearm. Not very effective, but takes down Dugtrio. Get the blondes out here. We're not ending this like this. Get the blondes in. Where are they? Bloody hell. Absolute mayhem. Here's the Alolan forms of Dugtrio. See if they can do any better. Starting things off is regular Wugtrio, who's going to go for electric terrain, which surely is going to be not that helpful, but I guess it stops things going to sleep. Go for it, my dude. There's no Quark Drive in this battle. Here is the shiny Wugtrio, though, who's going to go for Dragon Pulse onto the shiny Alolan Dugtrio. Barely any damage there. Now over to shiny Alolan Dugtrio to see how it will respond. Responds with Poison Jab. Neutral damage. Huge neutral damage there to shiny Wugtrio. Almost half its HP. And now regular Alolan Dugtrio goes for Confide into that shiny Wugtrio there. Drops its special attack by 1 stage. And now regular Wugtrio looks to fire off a Steel Roller that will get rid of the terrain. Decent damage there, though not very effective on the shiny Dugtrio, and the Tangling Hair does drop the speed of that Wugtrio by 1 stage. And now shiny Wugtrio is going to start off the next turn and is going to go for Psychic Terrain. Why not? Put more terrain up after all. Now that the electric terrain's gone, let's have Psychic Terrain. No priority moves, so that doesn't really matter in a battle like this. Here is regular Alolan Dugtrio, though, who's going to go for Volt Switch onto the Wugtrio for huge damage there. Won't switch out because it's only 2 members of the team. Critical hit. Regular Wugtrio in a dangerous position. Now shiny Alolan Dugtrio goes for Lunar Dance, but that is going to fail in this Metronome battle. Over to the shiny Wugtrio now. What's it going to do? Getting ready with the Metronome. Goes for Quiver Dance. Going to raise its special attack, special defense, and speed by 1 stage apiece. What's it going to do with those new improved stats? Who bloody well knows? Here comes the regular Alolan Dugtrio now, who's going to go for Swallow, but it hasn't stockpiled anything, so it wins the Silly Billy Awards. Well done, mate. Over to shiny Dugtrio now. Can it do something of effect for this turn? Goes for Judgment onto shiny Wugtrio. Just for a little bit of chip damage there. Now the regular Wugtrio is gearing itself up to use Leech Seed, but it's avoided by the shiny Dugtrio there. You could tell by that little delay, couldn't you? I could tell. Could you tell? Let me know if you could tell. Shiny Wugtrio goes for Charge Beam. Not going to affect the ground type shiny Dugtrio there. And now regular Dugtrio gets itself geared up and ready. Goes for Payback onto the regular Wugtrio there. Puts it in the danger zone, but doesn't quite take it down, but does activate Rattled and brings its speed back up by 1 stage as it starts off the next turn with Liquidation onto shiny Dugtrio to take it right out of this competition. The Tangly Hair is going to put its speed right back down again. Great plays there. Now we just have one Alolan Dugtrio versus both Wugtrio. Shiny Wugtrio gets itself prepared. What's it going to do here? Going to go for Vine Whip for some neutral damage into Dugtrio there. But Dugtrio going to lower the speed of that Wugtrio by 1 stage with the Tangling Hair once again. Now here is Dugtrio going for Meteor Beam. So it's going to charge up with Space Power, whatever the hell that means, and raise its special attack by 1 stage, getting ready to use the move on the next turn. And regular Wugtrio is going to go for Brine, which will be super effective. Same type attack bonus, brings it down to just 22 hit points, that Dugtrio. And now shiny Wugtrio follows up with Air Slash into Dugtrio. And Dugtrio flinches! Unbelievable scenes. So now it's over to regular Wugtrio. And what is it going to do here? Going to go for Force Palm. Super effective. That's enough. Down goes Dugtrio. The Wugtrio team have proven that they are superior, if you believe that Metronome battles are any sort of measure of strength, which they're not. Well done. Cheers, lads. Good stuff.
So you've heard what I've got to say, you've seen these Pokemon on the battlefield, now it's time for you to make your decision. Which of these convergent Pokemon is your favourite? Is it Dugtrio or Wugtrio? Or for some reason, Alolan Dugtrio? Let me know in the comments down below and explain to everybody why your pick is the absolute best. And of course, don't forget to become a member by clicking the join button, because then you can vote on what you want the next form fight to be. And of course, just before the video ends, let's say a massive thank you to our wonderful Ace Trainer Ultra XL members, who are Bro Metapod, Purple Dragonair, Ghost Lupin, Sin City Yeti, Mumbai Cobra, Gear Overlord, Toy Bonnie, TJ the Nerd, Night Angel, Lucas Gates, Gamer Guy Mike, Viridian Fault, and Poke Trainer Trainer Dean. Thank you all so much for your massive support. It makes such a huge difference to this channel. So that'll do it for another episode of Form Fight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Share the video with a friend. Click the join button and become a member, and you can vote on what you want the next Form Fight to be. And remember to use code ACE for 20% off G Fuel. Come and hang out in my live streams on this very YouTube channel all week. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.